Welcome back to my Final Fantasy XIV drama series. Today's drama story is about real life comes first. If you enjoy these kinds of videos, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Hi Pathra, chat, and YouTube, and Twitch. Hope you are all well. This story is going to be taking us all the way back to Stormblood and the days of FFXIV Savage Prague. God, that makes me feel ancient in the game nowadays, considering I have been playing since Gordius' release. My backstory is that I have been raiding for many years. I have played many different games, including EverQuest, World of Warcraft, Star Wars, and Final Fantasy XIV. High-end raiding has always been my favorite form of entertainment. Having said that, I am not some godlike player who has top-tier logs. I just enjoy raiding at the highest level and bettering myself. Now, on to the main part of the story. During Stormblood, I was at the top of my game. I played almost every day, helping people clear their first savages. I joined fun runs, and I had a community of friends who I used to talk with every day in Discord. This was at the time that Sigmascape, Kefka, and Uwu were the most difficult content that was available to play for Savage and Ultimate Raiders. While we were awaiting the release of FFXIV, a lot of friends encouraged me to go and try for a week 1 clear. They thought I should join the world first race. At first, I was skeptical, but after doing some interviews with some groups, I got offered a position as a red mage. I was super excited. Oh my god, are we getting a world first story? World first drama story? Okay, let's see. We started meeting twice a week to do Uwu and Kefka Savage runs just to mesh with each other and learn each other's playstyles so that when the next raid tier came out, we would be ready. We practiced like this for about 3 weeks. The next patch was about to drop. I prepared for the long days ahead. I took 2 weeks off from work. I bought tons of energy drinks and snacks. I was pumped and ready to go. Oh my god, this is exactly what World First Raiders do, right? Like if they have a job, or actually even some players who like want to play the expansion like the whole entire first week that it comes out. Like when Dawn Trail comes out, you know there's people out there who take the first week off of work. They're like, I want to just play the game. So like World First Raiders, they probably take a whole week or 2 weeks off of work and just like raid a ton. I had also really started to like these guys I was with. They were all double legends. They had such a great rapport with one another and were really down to earth, at least until the day that the patch dropped. Day 1. Chaos. All right, it was day 1. We all unlocked the raid and sped through the normal raids in about 45 minutes. We took notes of all the mechanics we saw and wrote them down. It was all going great, but I did not notice that all the guys were a lot quieter now. They weren't really talking unless it was absolutely necessary. This was a total change from the previous weeks where we had been getting to know each other. Okay, so maybe the previous weeks were more fun, right? But then when it actually drops, they got serious. Like this is super serious now and like more business-like. I just continued to do my thing and not think about it too much. Then we moved on to the Savage. Chaos Savage was a breeze and we ended up clearing in about 50 minutes. Only 1 lockout. But that's still very, very good. 1 lockout and they got it. I was totally stoked, but the group didn't care and moved on to V2. Midgar Sommer's Savage presented some challenges. We couldn't figure it all out as quick, and it took about 10 hours to clear. But during this time, the boys had started blaming each other for wipes and mistakes. I was pretty surprised because these guys were all friends, and now they were almost abusing each other for the smallest mistakes. Again, I just kept my head down and focused to not make any mistakes myself. I think like that's what happens in some fights. Like if someone like understands what's going on, it might be like one or a couple of people in your static that like goes, oh, I think I understand what the mechanic is, and like some fights might be picked up a lot quicker, but then like you reach the next fight and it's like it's just a puzzle and nobody understands what's happening for a long while. And then that starts getting people antsy and really testing their mood. And I guess that's what's happening now. Day 2, we moved on to V3 Omega. Now, if anybody knows this fight and did it the first week, you know how hard this boss was at first. It sucked. It took us a total of 15 hours to clear it with non-stop pulls. During the fight, I struggled a bit and made a few mistakes, which I admitted to. And each time, I got a scolding from the team, telling me I needed to be more focused and to sort my shit out if I wanted to stay in this group. That really shook me, but I coped with it and just focused as hard as I could. We were on Omega all day at this stage. 14 hours of straight raiding with only 20 minutes break. That's so intense, man. The whole day. Day 3, still on Omega. We all chatted and looked through our footage to see where we could improve. Everyone agreed that today we were just gonna go hard, focus, and get it done. And just like that, 10 pulls and we had it cleared. We did it again. I was so happy, but the guys were just silent and wanting to get V4 cleared. After sorting the gearing out, we got onto V4, and this is where it all went to shit. We started pulling M and F and got about 20 pulls, and a couple of hours in before we got through the first few mechanics, we decided to take a break. We took our break, and this is where the story gets real. I got a phone call while I was progging, which I couldn't take. Obviously, it was from my dad. Then I noticed that he had called me about 6 times. So I called him back to check if everything was okay. He told me in a panic that my 13-year-old brother had run away from home last night and he hadn't been seen or heard from in nearly 16 hours. I was freaking out. I tried to call my brother and find out what happened, but he wouldn't pick up. I texted him and said if he was in trouble, he could come to my house. At this point, I went back to the group Discord and told the guys what happened. And they were all like, okay, are you good to keep going? To which I said, yes, I'm happy to, but I'm going to keep an eye on my phone. So we kept pulling the boss. I think looking back now, I should have left and just focused on my brother. But we got about another 15 pulls in and lots of arguing and abuse being said over Discord before I got another phone call. It was my brother. He was at the front door and I didn't hear it because I had my headset on. I told the guys he was here and that I needed to go see him. They said nothing. I went and saw my brother and he was okay, but he got into a fight with my dad and left home. I called my dad to tell him that my brother was here and was safe. I went back to the Discord and told the guys, I'm gonna have to stop because my brother is here. And as soon as I said that, I was booted from the Discord. No words or anything, just kicked. And the messages from them followed after. F you and your effing brother, you have effed our entire prog that you have to leave. Go and unalive yourself, you pathetic F word. Why the F would you join our group if you couldn't commit? It's week 1, bro. You need to be here. If you couldn't commit, you should have never joined. Please uninstall the game and never play again. You are the worst effing player I have ever seen. I was beyond shocked to see these messages. They honestly did not care about me and decided that I was the problem. I wasn't a bad player. I didn't make many mistakes, but beyond all that, I had a real life emergency, a family emergency. I'm not gonna raid over real life. And for any of those wondering, my brother is okay. This was a long time ago, and it was just an argument between my brother and my dad, and it turned out all right. After all of this, I decided to quit Final Fantasy XIV. I left and canceled my sub for over a year. I missed pretty much all of Shadowbringers. I came back to start playing again when they released the last Nier raid. I also have never done hardcore rating again and never will. I still think about this event to this day, and it happened over 5 years ago now. But my advice to all people out there who want to do hardcore rating, don't ever take abuse or verbal assault from anybody, no matter how much you want to raid. Find another group. I also would like to add, this was on Ether DC. All these guys were on Balmung. Oh, I was so confused when I read that. I was like, Balmung? Ether? But like ages ago, Balmung was on Ether. The end. Yeah, so that was a really long time ago. Now, honestly, if you have something going on in real life, just say to the group, hey, I'm going to prioritize this and I have to cancel the raid now. I'm sorry, I got to jump out of the call. And everyone should be like, all right, cool. They should understand that. And that's it. And just leave it at that. They shouldn't have just said like, F you, F this and F that, go unalive yourself. That's like so over the top. I don't think that group could have replaced the guy like on the spot, but it is what it is. So yeah, if you're going into a world first race, just understand that there's like 8 different people in that group and anything can happen at any moment. You don't know what it is. And if something does happen, like it is what it is. There is more to life than a video game. Yeah, it does suck if all of you expected to raid for a whole week, but like, you know, shit happens. So it's a tough one, really, but people just have to understand. Because if they were in a shitty position and something IRL happened to them, I'm sure they would want people to understand that they have to leave for their IRL situation. This isn't uncommon. So like, OP, if you're out there listening, there are actually so many world first raiders that encounter some sort of problem like this IRL. Like someone in their group has like maybe an IRL issue come up randomly and it actually breaks up the static, and it happens even to big streamers out there. If you're raiding for that long, you get irritated so easily. I could never play a video game for that long and have to like deal with all 7 other people on call for like 14 hours in a day. That's hard. There will definitely be drama. Yeah, and if you don't know about it, there's definitely drama behind this, like off stream, behind closed doors that none of us know of. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about this Final Fantasy XIV drama story. Remember, these are real people behind the stories and they're human and can make mistakes. They'll also be reading the comment section, so please try to have constructive criticism. There are always nicer ways to say something versus saying it meanly to help someone learn and grow. If you have any of your own drama stories that you'd like me to share and read out anonymously, feel free to reach out to my Discord, discord.gg/Pathra.